my show. It's like sometimes it's like so I know, but they're happy to meet you and this well, Christian. Well, we have it in the month, right?
For their clubs beating, I heard there is a discussion about the world record in making noise in a stadium, something like that. So we will get it back to Seattle. That's the objective. And then of course the year after the World Cup as well, 6 games, including the second match of the U.S. National team. So we are ready, to welcome. I met today the governor, the mayors, ready to welcome the world to Washington, to Seattle, to this whole area, because that's what will happen. We'll have hundreds of thousands of people. I mean, in total for the World Cup, between 5 and 10 million fans will travel to the US. For the Club World Cup, it will be a little bit less, but very similar numbers as well, of fans who want to come and enjoy the game, and this will be, for me, part of the legacy we want to leave as well. We are not just here to organize tournaments and events, but we are here to grow the game, to make it become number one, not just around the world, but also in this country. For men's football, for women's football, we were discussing about the Rain as well, which is a great team. We have now the under-17 World Cup taking place in not far from here in Dominican Republic, where the US under-17 team is playing, including a player from Seattle. So a lot of discussions and a lot of good vibes.
From what you saw here in this city, what's your level of confidence that Seattle can host 2 major global events like this?
I'm extremely confident. I mean, the commitment I've witnessed here from the authorities, from the people is really. I don't want to say unique, because there are 16 host cities for the World Cup and 11 for the Club World Cup, but it's really very special. And I will definitely use and cite and mention Seattle as an example as well to the other host cities of what can be done, not just during the events, but also in the leading up and after the events.
Gianni, do you think the specialness of the city, the uniqueness of Emerald City, and the commitment of the Puyallup tribe, the nation, of welcoming you, how committed are you to working with them and keeping the sustainability in their aspect of welcoming FIFA and the world and the country here to see this?
Well, this is beautiful. Thanks for the question. We had just a great discussion, a great meeting. And for me, to be able to showcase the origins of the people of the tribe, including them and including football in what they do is unique. We need always to remember where we are coming from, the origins. We need to remember the diversity of the game, and having this interaction and the events we can organize around the Club World Cup and the World Cup with them, and the meeting we had today was really special from a human perspective as well. Sorry.
You're okay.
Is and will be unique.
We'll take one more. Nico, is that you?
With what you have seen at the stadium in the city, considering the magnitude of a Club World Cup and a World Cup, what are some of the changes or improvements that you feel like they're needed, whether it's press box or in general, to host an event of this magnitude?
Well, there are some, small details that we are working on, of course, with the whole city committee. But the most important element is, to make the hundreds of thousands of fans which will be coming feel welcome and feel home. They must feel welcome in the entire city, and the great thing about the stadium, about Lumen Field as well, is that it's very close to the center of the city. So the fan march needs to be organized in the right way. The fan festival needs to be done as well in the best possible way, and what we need to realize compared to any other sporting event is that when we speak about soccer and World Cups, there are really millions of people coming, not just those who buy tickets, but there will be thousands of fans without tickets. They just want to be close to their team, they want to be part of something special, and that's what we are working on to showcase this region, this area to the entire world, and to make everyone feel welcome.
Honestly, to have both the 2025 Club World Cup and the World Cup in 2026 here says a lot about how FIFA, which is the global governing body of the sport of soccer, how much that respect that for our community there is for that. We really felt it. I would say we got a chance to show Johnny the stadium yesterday. We had him here at the Long Acres beautiful facility, which will be a home base camp for some lucky nation in 2026. And also to talk about the Club World Cup, because there's going to be 6 matches in 2025 with our 6 matches in 2026. That is just an amazing opportunity for this community.
Yeah, the other thing I'll add is that he did confirm that the Sounders are his favorite team now, so that can go global. No, it was great. It was good, a great visit, and it was really nice to spend quality time with he and his team. And for me to give a little history, a little of the story of the Sounders and the Reign, and the history of soccer in this region, and why it's such a hotbed for the sport was great for him to get context. Obviously he's got a lot of territory to cover with a lot of nations and the history of football, so getting some time.
That is a great question, and one of the things that we started with this whole project was started with legacy. We're still the only city to have a chief legacy officer, the only one of all the 16 host cities. So we focus on the programs that we're going to leave behind. The 6 pillars that we have in that legacy are around human rights, sustainability, accessibility, culture, community, and children. And we're building programs in all those areas. So you can almost think of FIFA is really working hard on the actual event. The local organizing committee is working on almost everything else. And what we're going for is a 1962 World's Fair-like legacy. If you think about the legacy that 1962 World's Fair gave to the city, it was really challenging the city to think about the city of the future and the role of technology that would play in it. And we're going to extend that legacy into, so that kind of 62 to 26, and we're extending that legacy. We're going for a 20-year impact beyond that's going to ever hit our state. And if you haven't been to World Cup, it is a cacophony of humanity. People from all walks of life coming together, regardless of their orientation, their political beliefs, religious beliefs, all there in a time of joy. I got to see it firsthand in the 2022 Qatari Games, and it was just amazing. I was so struck by how people just were there in friendly competition, just being friendly to each other, and I just can't wait for our children to witness that, because right now the world is so divisive. So if there's any one impact, it's about how this community and how humanity can actually be united in a great way. That's such a great image. I was at the Paris Olympics, saw a little bit of that, and I'll say, I've said this before, the star of the Paris Olympics was actually the city of Paris. I expect the star of the Seattle World Cup and the Club World Cup to be the city of Seattle.
I mean, some of that was done years ago. There will be changes, widening of the pitch, grass, obviously, some premium spaces being adjusted, but it's all, that's all in the hopper and in the plans over the next period of time. Energy coming off of it, we toured yesterday, went to a bunch of different spaces, different views, some of the new spaces that have been built out. And he, again, he expressed that it just you could feel the energy coming off of it without anyone in the building. So when there are 67,000, 68,000 people in it, he's excited to experience that.
One of the things he said, what was really striking, I would say, about the stadium was we were up at the Toyota fan deck looking out at that iconic view of the city, and he just expressed like how that felt so connected, how the stadium felt so connected, because he's been in millions of stadiums all around the world, and obviously most of them are kind of so enclosed, but being up there, having the stadium connected to our city, he just said that just really felt special.
Look, it'll be of higher quality than previous sod installations, more technical, and technology has changed and evolved. So, but yeah, it'll come up after the Club World Cup, as will the grass after the FIFA World Cup. Small one. That a lot of what we all do is for those next generations, and legacy is a word that's been used a lot, and just excited to be involved in some small way of setting this foundation, and hopefully growing the sport for the future.